You are Locked On 76ers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Sports Philadelphia, Locked On 76ers Postcast. My name is Mark Farzetta, and it's fantastic to have you along for the ride, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness gracious. I can't imagine. I'm really trying to rack my brain. Is there a worse move than the Dallas Mavericks made than the, getting rid of Quentin Grimes at the trade deadline? Is that the worst move that they made? I think getting rid of Quentin, I can't think of another move that they made at the deadline that might have been worse, that even threatens being worse than getting rid of Quentin Grimes. It's absolutely amazing. Welcome into the show either way. Quentin Grimes, another great game for the Sixers now. I believe that's 6 games where he scored at least 25 points with his 28 piece tonight. And it goes without saying here on Locked On Sports Philadelphia that he'll be your player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
It is, without question, the man in the thumbnail, Quentin Grimes, who did one heck of a job throughout the night tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, on his way to a 28-point performance. And this leads me right into the turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
No question. The turning point of this game for me was about 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Now, if you remember, Sixers were down in the dumps in that second quarter. They were allowing a 7-0 run to start things off. Later on, they're losing in the quarter 18-2. They're absolutely getting blown out in that second quarter. And then right about the midway point of that second quarter, the Sixers start to hit a little bit of a stride, and Quentin Grimes is a big piece of that. But about 6 seconds left, despite being blown out throughout that quarter, the Sixers are able to cut the lead for the Dallas Mavericks down to 4 thanks to a Quentin Grimes 3. That started to get the 76ers offense really going. That started to get Quentin Grimes going on his way to the 28-point performance. And in the third quarter, the Sixers 1,000% dominated in that third quarter, and that's when they took control of the game. Sure, the Dallas Mavericks again threatened in the fourth quarter to find their way back into the game. At one point, getting it down to a 1-point game, certainly down to 3 points a couple of different times. Klay Thompson came up clutch with a couple threes there. PJ Washington throughout the game was absolutely the best player on the floor for all 4 quarters for the Dallas Mavericks. But mostly at the end of that second quarter, the Sixers started to work their way back into this game and take control. In that third quarter, they absolutely dominated, partially because of Quentin Grimes, and also because how the 76ers bench was able to perform in this afternoon's game. If you look at – it didn't want to load, unfortunately. Hold on. That's the I'll get this to you here. I think I saved this on the right one. I did not. That's my mistake. What happened was in this second quarter where you saw the Sixers started to make their push, again with that Quentin Grimes 3, the Quentin Grimes makes that 3 in the third quarter. Then the Sixers were able to go on the 34-18 run throughout the third quarter. That's where you saw their 3-point shooting really start to take off, and also their points in the paint. At one point in the second quarter, the Dallas Mavericks were outscoring the Sixers by 20 points overall in the paint. The Sixers ended up making a game of it within the lane itself, actually drawing even. I believe it ended up being at one point 54-54. To show you who was able to own the paint in the later stages of this game. One of the big reasons the Sixers were able to do that later on, despite the fact they didn't have a legit center playing, Adem Bona was missing the game tonight due to a left ankle sprain. Gershon Yabusele was the closest thing you had to a center in this game tonight. Justin Edwards is trying to get boards for you down low also. He ended up getting you only 4. Gershon Yabusele ended up getting you 6. But your leading rebounder tonight was Ricky Council. Now, that's in your starting 5, how well those guys played in this afternoon's game. But if you look to the bench, these are the guys that were really bringing it tonight. The reserve players, again, another performance for the Sixers where they're scoring in triple digits with no Tyrese Maxey, no Joel Embiid, no Paul George, and yet they're not just getting into triple digits. They're scoring 100 points, 110, 120, and today 130 points, and a big part of that was their bench scoring, led by Jalen Hood-Schifino, who just got to Philadelphia a couple days ago And in the second game with the Sixers, drops in 19 points on 6 of 11 shooting, 5 of 9 from beyond the arc. How about that for Jalen Hood-Schifino? Not too bad for him. Also helping you out in his first game with the Sixers, Chuma Okeke. He got you 5 points off the bench, including a 3. Also got some rebounds for you in limited time, only 16 minutes. But the bench guys in general, Jeff Doughton Jr., another solid game, 14 points for him. O'Shea Brissett going in there, giving you 13 points off the bench. This bench performance really helped the Sixers en route to the victory. Now that I've said all that, I think most people already know that I'm with the people that want to see the Sixers lose. But as the season winds down, and now you got, 15 games left in the season after this, you have later on tonight, and this is what I was trying to show you earlier, you look at the Sixers standings. As of right now, you got the Brooklyn Nets tipping off tonight at 6 o'clock. The Toronto Raptors are tipping off tonight at 6 o'clock as well. So the Sixers are going to try and, at least cross their fingers that they'll be able to. There we go. There's the updated standings there. The Brooklyn Nets, 1 game. Sixers now 1 more win than the Brooklyn Nets. Sixers 1 less win than the Toronto Raptors. So the Raptors today, hopefully for the Sixers, will go for their 4th straight victory. The Sixers going into today had lost 3 in a row, while the Raptors had won 3 in a row. The Brooklyn Nets just out Cam Thomas, just shut down Cam Thomas. He looks like he's going to be done for the rest of the season. So this is what we're looking at right now for the Sixers as far as competition to be one of the worst 6 teams in the NBA. And that's really where me, myself, and most likely you are hoping the Sixers end up. When we come back, we'll talk about a couple other guys who are able to step up for the Sixers tonight, including a guy that is continuing to make himself a name here in Philadelphia. We'll talk about that in a second when we return here on Locked On Sports Philadelphia, Locked On 76ers postcast. Let me tell you about DoorDash. Hope you guys are having fun and taking advantage of all that DoorDash has to offer. NBA fans, get ready. They swoosh, you save. Thanks to DoorDash Pass. That's the Dash Pass from DoorDash. Every time a player drops 50 or more points in the game, you will score a huge deal the next day. It's simple. When a player hits 50 points in the game during the 2024-2025 NBA regular season, Dash Pass members get 50% off an order, up to $10 off the next day from noon to midnight. A few ways you can take advantage of this. Game day feast. After an epic 50-point performance, celebrate your order with wings, pizza, burgers from your favorite spot delivered right to your door. Late night cravings, maybe. We all got them. Whether you're staying up watching highlights or just need a midnight snack, use your Dash Pass and grab something delicious while you save big. Sign up for Dash Pass and be ready to save. When a player scores 50 or more points in the game, Dash Pass members get 50% off an order up the next day, up to $10 off. Just use promo code NBA50 from noon to midnight after a 50-point game. Eligible orders at participating merchants must have active Dash Pass account. Terms apply. Visit DoorDash to learn more. Madness is upon us in March. That's why you should be using FanDuel during the tourney. FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in all the action like never before. And right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 in bonus bets to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories and so much more. Love picking my favorite teams. Love the player props as well throughout the tournament. It's easy and fast on FanDuel. The FanDuel app is so simple. And when I win, I get paid instantly. So there's no waiting around, no buzzer beaters when it comes to FanDuel in terms of payouts. You're paid right on time. So visit FanDuel.com and get in on college hoops all tournament action long with FanDuel. When you win on FanDuel, you got all this money, right? So you want to make sure you're spending it wisely. People at Monarch Money can help you with that. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did the money go? Especially being young. Oh, man, made my mistakes. Between dining out, online shopping, entertainment, it's easy to lose track. But that's where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO giving you full visibility on control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. No. It's a complete financial command center. That's how you have to think of it. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and start beginning to build wealth for yourself. When I get started using Monarch Money, I realized how much money I was spending on food deliveries, for instance. Couldn't help myself, treated myself to some bagels this morning. Monarch Money's got me tracked, though. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can just use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever, thanks to Monarch Money. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. It makes it so much easier. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use promo code LOCKEDONNBA at Monarch Money for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com. With code LOCKEDONNBA for half off your first year with Monarch Money. Coming up, let's get into what you'll be talking about tomorrow.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Probably, like most people, the fact that the Sixers won instead of lost. You might be talking about a little conspiracy theory, because I have a little conspiracy theory going on. And that's when the Sixers have a less than 50% chance of keeping their own pick if they finish with the 60th, the sixth worst record in the NBA. It makes me think about all the conspiracies, whether it's a cold envelope at the NBA draft lottery. Which one's the cold envelope? Whether it's just the association hating an organization. Whether it's Adam Silver hating on the Sixers, hating the process. Sixers got 2 number 1 overall picks during the process. And funny, neither of them are here anymore. That's crazy. But the Sixers may have made themselves some good karma by listening to Adam Silver and staying in South Philadelphia as opposed to moving to Center City. Because remember, it was the Flyers, Comcast Spectacor, who called Dad, as I like to put it, Adam Silver, and said, "Dad, our brother's being mean. He's going to move. Make him stay." And Adam Silver called the Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment Group, the owner of the Sixers, and said, "Guess what? You're staying in South Philly. And guess what? You guys are going to be the part owners of the new arena, along with Comcast Spectacor. Does that do you right? Okay, we'll stay." So maybe they put some good karma out there. So maybe there'll be some cold envelopes floating around for them, or some more ping pong balls floating around for them come lottery day. Even if the Sixers continue to go on a little bit of a run here, they got 5 more games on this 6-game road trip. If they do go on a little bit of a run, maybe that good karma will help them out, especially if Quentin Grimes is going to be carrying this team the way he did in this second half. So maybe conspiracy theories will be discussed tomorrow. That's, of course, if you're not talking about Philly's spring training. You're not talking about whatever Howie did or did not do in the offseason of the NFL. Might be talking maybe some conspiracy theories in the NBA. As for some other guys, as I mentioned earlier, that were able to help you out tonight, I mentioned the guys coming off the bench for your 76ers. One guy whose name I did not mention yet, other than just a throwaway, if you will. Jared Butler today. Hasn't done much in terms of the scoring, especially 8 points tonight. Shot 2 of 7 from beyond shot 2 of 7 from the floor, 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. But how about this? 7 assists. When you got 130 points in a game, somebody's got to be dishing the dimes, as they say. And Jared Butler was able to do that today for the 76ers, setting up Quentin Grimes a couple of times, a nice feed to Justin Edwards a little early in the ball game. You need somebody to be able to spread the ball around. And he was doing that. Quentin Grimes, to go along with his 28 points, also had 6 assists. But Jared Butler was running point a little bit more for the 76ers in his 28 minutes played. Good to see that. Sixers right now still have the auditions, as we've been talking about for quite some time. The auditions to see who could help you out in the near future. And when it comes to that, it's not just about helping the team by being on the team and playing for them next year. It's also who could have a little bit of value when it comes to potential trade in the offseason. First, maybe a signing would have to happen in order for that to happen. But when I look at these guys, I see guys like Jared Butler stepping up. I see a guy like Jeff Doughton. Loved Jeff Doughton's words over the last couple of games where he had back-to-back 20-point performances, including his career-high 24 points the other night. Comes out there and just starts talking about how hard he works, how much time he puts in the gym, and how much he just tries to keep himself ready for the opportunity. Because right now, Jeff Doughton Jr. is getting the opportunity. And what I notice really has players that are more of come from the unexpected, players that aren't drafted in the top 5, guys that weren't hailed prospects or, big names coming over in a trade. The guys that really make a name for themselves, that kind of come out of nowhere, are the guys that are just ready for that opportunity when it's knocking on their door. I always take this away, and this applies to every sport, but I always remember Tom Brady talking about being such a late pick and talking about how it doesn't matter. All that stuff goes out the window. If you get the opportunity to step on the surface of play, a field, a court, whatever, you make the most of your opportunity. And Jeff Doughton Jr. right now is making the most of his – Quentin Grimes making the most of his opportunity. But Jeff Doughton Jr., more under-the-radar player, has worked his way up throughout this season, and now he's getting that opportunity. Now that you're down to 10 guys, up to 10 guys being unable to play, Adem Bona, the most recent, you have a guy like Jeff Doughton going out there and trying to show you what he could do from a basketball standpoint, and you love seeing that. No matter what. Do I want the team to lose? Absolutely. When Klay Thompson hit that corner 3, was I thinking, it's another perfect loss? They showed you a great game, and they battled, especially in that third quarter where they won 34-18. But it's all going to be for naught because Klay Thompson's getting hot. Wasn't meant to be. Sixers found a way to squash that momentum and made it a 2-point game. Klay Thompson with 1:35 left in the game hit a corner 3, made it 123-121. And it was typical Klay Thompson play where there's a little bit of a fast break, a little bit of a run out. I think it was PJ Washington gets the run out, gets into the lane. 2 Sixers converge on him. Klay Thompson is already in the corner, just pouring his tea, taking a sip. Oh, there's the ball. Catch, release 3. 2-point game all of a sudden. At that point, I thought, okay, here we go. This is where the Dallas Mavericks take over. The Sixers hit their free throws down the stretch to keep the Dallas Mavericks at bay, and they were able to get the victory today. Now, like I said, and most of you, I'm planning and wanting the Sixers to lose as many games as possible. But you got to, again, give credit where credit's due when it comes to the effort of the guys that are being sent out there, whether it's Jalen Hood-Schifino, Quentin Grimes, Jeff Doughton, or whoever. Guys showed up this afternoon, wanted the win, and they got the W. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be back with you guys Tuesday. I think the Sixers have their next game as they continue this 6-game road trip. Now 23-44 on the season. They got the Rockets, got the Rockets tomorrow night. So they're right back at it against the 43-25. Almost mirrored, flipped records. Houston Rockets 43-25 with the 76ers tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. I'll be back with you guys for that tip-off tomorrow night at 8. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is Locked On 76ers Postcast on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel.